Good afternoon, good evening, those of you on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. I'm TK34 on Spotify, and walk with me. We're in Deuteronomy Chapter 4, the fourth chapter of Deuteronomy. Let us pray. Oh, most holy Sanini Nanini, even the I am that I am, we thank you for all that you've done. We thank you for all your mercy. We thank you for all your favor. We thank you for the subduing our enemies, even giving us the wisdom how to deal with our enemies. Yes, but we even ask you so much so that we even today, even forcefully, because we know freedom is not given, it's taken. Yes, it's taken. Yes, especially if there's an unrighteous person that's in charge. But oh, most holy Sanini Nanini, we ask you to deal with our enemies, deal with their minds and their hearts. Turn them over into our hands to do after your will. And we ask you to deal with their minds and hearts that they might see you, that they might escape the thing which is to come against them. But oh, most holy Sanini Nanini, their hearts have been hardened and their brains have been fried. But oh, we ask you to deal even with us, that we might not be afraid, that we might stand up and without fear, without wavering. Even knowing that greater is he that after the body is gone, that he that is greater can also torment our bodies even after separation. And we thank you for these things. Just to know you have us in life as well as afterlife. And we give you the glory and the praise for those things, that our children, even in this life, and that we might prosper, that we might have food to eat, clothes on our back, shoes on our feet, a roof over our heads. Yes, and be able to just praise you and dance and be grateful and have lights and everything else. Yes. Why should the heathen have it all and want us stamped down to the ground, even as the ram stamped on the ground himself? But we thank you for these things, that these things are going to be brought to pass and speedily. We give you the glory and the praise for that. We glorify you. We give you the glory. Thank you, most holy Sanini Nanini, for all that you've done. Yes. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Yes, we're in Deuteronomy chapter 4, the fourth chapter of Deuteronomy, and verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and to the judgments which I teach you, for to do them ye may live and go into possess the land which I am of your fathers give you. Now God gave them this land. This land was given to Shem way back. Now it's given to Israel. Now it's given to Jacob. So therefore we have to really understand that God is not playing. And then the heathen, you might have had a certain thing to do with it, but you're not wanted anymore. You go back to your lands and do what you want to do. You're not wanted anymore. In the north, the south, the east, the west, you're going to be driven back. It's just a matter of time. But yet you're going to be given a certain amount of time. Then you're going to come back and try to do this again. And then that's when God will be thoroughly glorified with you. In that he will receive praise, just as God received praise with Miriam and Moses when they sung the song, all praises to God. The horse and the rider cried. They were drowned in the Red Sea. Yes. And we're going to say all praises to God that they were even up to the horse's bridle. We saw a sea that no man in the past has ever saw. Yes, we're going to sing a new song. Now, he says, now ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither give ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the I am your God, which I command you. Oh, I heard that somewhere before in Revelations. I believe it was chapter 22. All right. You better start here a little, there a little. Precept upon precept, line upon line. You better start looking at this thing real hard. He's talking about his commandments. He's not talking about that back there. He's talking about this is what brought about revelation. This is what brought about all these things. Your disobedience, your ancestors' disobedience to the commandments, statutes, judgments, and ordinances of the Most High. Yes, That's what God caused it all. This caused the prophets to have to be raised. This caused prophecy in the future. This caused prophecy and then to look back on the past. Yes, it's called sin, transgression against the law of the Most High, even and zombie. Yes. He said, your eyes have seen what the I am done because of Baal Peor, this nasty spirit. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the I am that God has destroyed them from among you. But that ye did cleave unto the I am your God and are alive even to this day. Santa is a god. These Easter is another god. You have gods of Christianity. They might not say it's God. They're going to stick to their guns. They're going to stick to those traditions that they have instead of following the feast days and following the feast and the rejoicing that God have given even those of his people. These are the spirits that have them praising them. Did you know Santa was a god? Yes, Santa is a god who can see beyond time and space and know whether you naughty or nice. Although we know it's not true. Yes. Who can take his reindeer and fly through the air? This is used in animation to project idolatry. Yes, it is. Now, we're going to leave it at that. I digress. But anyway, but I have taught you statutes, judgments, and even as the I am thy God commanded me, that ye shall do in the land whether you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who hath God so nigh unto them? In other words, God is near unto you, Jacob. God is near unto you. I'm not talking about no Jacob, somebody to name, some Christian to name their child. I'm talking about a Kobe. Would be his correct name to say. But anyway, he said, who is so great? Who hath God so near unto him? God has been a fire by night and a smoke by day, a cloud by day. Even sitting in the temple when everything was done, you've seen the fierceness and the terribleness of the mighty I am. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Your ancestors have. But let's go a little further. And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as is this law which I set before you this day? What is fair? The thing is, God's law is fair. But you think fairness, you're not liberal. You don't let a murderer sit out there and sit in jail when he should be deleted. No, that's sin. That is evil. You don't let a lying woman lie on somebody and then cause them to be deleted and then she lives for the rest of her life. You don't let a murderer sit up there and he's sit up there and kill 20, 30 people and then next thing you know, here we go. This guy is sitting up, drinking tea and eating crumpets. Yeah, he's locked up. That has nothing. He's not deleted from this whole life. He still gets to live however he shall live. Yes. You're backwards. Justice is cast out in the street. Equity is gone. It's gone. It's gone. Even as the prophet even proclaimed, these spirits that have caused you to even go against the God of the universe and cause you to sit up there and celebrate his laws into your nasty, dirty, earthly ideologies. Now, he says, what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as this law, which I set before you this day? Deuteronomy verse 4 and 8. Now, verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest thou depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy son. Now, remember, he says, remember Jacob, remember Israel, remember these things. I've given you laws so that you can control yourself, not that a man should control you. Control yourself. That's the freedom you're given. He didn't say you couldn't smoke. He didn't say you couldn't drink. He didn't say you couldn't sit up there and just have 3 and 4 wives. He didn't say that. He's given you laws that you might be able to worship him? Don't you worship your own government? Don't you obey his laws, his commandments, or the Constitution, and they call it the people? Don't you do those things, huh? The people have decided, they have accepted even the laws of the Most High, even Tata and Zambi. They have accepted these things, and you're held to them. But yet you want to go by man things. See, one thing about God's laws, man's laws can't over succeed it, because the fact is, if you follow God's laws, you won't disobey man's laws, because they are not intertwined. But man is not going to he's not going to do harm to himself. Oh boy, how backwards we are. He said, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. The failure of many of the Bantu. You fail to teach your children. You rather teach them Bible stories of Christianity rather than Bible study of the heritage of the Bantu. The God, Tata and Zambi. The God, even Sanini Nainini. The God, the I am that I am, the Heya. Those of you in North America. See, you don't know the secret of that. And South America. You don't know the secret of that. And I'm not going to say anything, because God has people he's going to reveal, and they're going to show you these things, but it's up to you to accept and know who you are. So God says, remember, verse 10. Especially the day that thou stoodest before the I am, thy God in Horeb, when the I am said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, that they may teach their children. That is the failure. This is where it all comes from. Jacob, the Bantu, even those in North and South America, fail to teach your children. When the colonizers came and they were ready to just take the children away, you did not teach your children the ways of the Most High. You did not. So they taught them. They taught them Christianity. Yes, the Christianity as we know it is paganism. Yes, it's witchcraft. It's evil. Yes. Now it says now, and the I am spake unto you out of the midst of the fire, and ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard a voice. In other words, no man can see the I am and live. And he declared to you his covenant, agreement, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. He wrote upon them upon 2 tables of stone. Now these are just general commandments amongst many that under them. It's just like you have a heading, then you have those things that go underneath them in that category. Yes. And verse 14, and the I am commanded me that each time that at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whether ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed to yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the I am spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make your graven images and similitude of any figure and likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth upon the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the water. Yeah, yo Jesus on the cross, yo Mary, all these doggone Easter eggs and rabbits, all your images of idolatry. And then the big rock that looks enshrined in what looks like a woman's private part. And the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that's in the water. Oh, the likeness of the fish, huh? Oh, this is the Christian thing. They had a fish pointing the way which they should go. God cares less. Still idolatry. You see any tattoos on these arms? You see any earrings in these ears? I'm not a servant or a slave of any man. I haven't had a wife or children under a master and says, I love my master. No. That's not the way of God. God gives you the law to control yourself. He said, but the I am hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Now, some of you say, you wonder where Israel was in Egypt. Now, Egypt could be many places. But the fact was, all the people that came out of Egypt were born in Egypt, so therefore they will be considered Egyptians. Yes, but yet they were the children of Jacob. So that's a different name, you guys. See, you're being fooled, you're being tricked. You don't even know what you're talking about. Furthermore, the I Am was angry with me for your sake, and swear that I should not go over Jordan, that I should not go in that good land which the I Am thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. But I must die in this land, and I must not go over Jordan, but ye shall go over and possess that good land. Now, sometimes the people will cause a leader to even get angry, even to disobedient, because of their stubbornness. And many of you Africans and North and South Americans are very stubborn, believing in lies and foolishness and things that don't even tend to the praises and obedience of the Most High Tata and Zambe, so Nini Nai Nini, even the I Am, that I am, even the Heya. For the Lord thy God, even the I Am, is a consuming fire, even a jealous God. Oh, I hear somebody say, why God get jealous? Why he get jealous? God shouldn't be jealous. He's not like us. God jealous. No, God is not jealous like that. God is the fact you made a deal with God, first of all, for Israel. You made a deal with God. So therefore, God says, you say you love me just like a husband would tell a wife. You love me, but you going looking at other men. You love me, but you said you going around talking and laughing and giggling at other men's stuff, and you know what they want to do. They want to commit fornication. They want to commit idolatry with you. Yes, that's what's happening. You're courting idols. That's what you're doing. And I call heaven and earth, in verse 20, to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto you go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but ye shall utterly be destroyed. And the I Am shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in numbers among the heathen, whether the I Am shall lead you. In other words, it's not he's going to take you by a hand and call. He's going to deal with minds of people. There are some vessels unto honor and dishonor. These were vessels unto dishonor. And ye shall serve gods in the world. Oh, Santa Claus, you're going to serve that Isus. Call him God, huh? My. Oh, tell it, God. Tell it, Moses. Yes. He said, and wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. For if from thence thou shalt seek the I Am thy God, thou shalt find him. If thou shalt seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. In other words, not being set in your ways with these idolistic gods and these paganistic ways and saying it's the truth. Now, when thou art in tribulation and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the I Am thy God, he's talking to you, Africa, he's talking to you, South Africa, he's talking to you, North America, he's talking to you, even over there into Argentina. Buenos dias, yes. Now he's saying, and shall be obedient unto his voice. For the Lord thy God is merciful. Is a merciful God. He will not forsake you, neither destroy you, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. He's not going to forget it. You might as well, even as a child, a descendant of Jacob, you might as well just turn to the Most High. His commandments are not grievous. Your agreement is not grievous. Christianity is grievous. Islam is grievous because you got so many things you got to do. For now of the days that you are past, which were before these thence, that day God created. Now they got other things added on to the Most High. Other denominations with crystals and all kind of witchcraft and all kind of Illuminati stuff, all kind of mess. All you need is the naked commandments, statutes, judgments, and ordinance of the Most High. That's all you need. And ask from one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as a great thing heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of fire? Hast thou heard and lived? Or hath God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation by temptation, signs, and by wonders, by war, and by mighty hand, and by stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God, even the I am, did for you in Egypt before your eyes? Unto thee it will show that thou mightest know that the Lord, even the God, even the I am, is God. There is none else beside him. See, it never changes. There's none else beside the Most High. Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee upon the earth. He showed thee his great fire, and thou heardest his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought them out of his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt. Yes, he did. And know therefore this day, and consider it in thy heart, that the I am, he is God, in heaven above and the earth beneath. There is none else. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which this is not a must or do, but you agreed to it. Your fathers, your ancestors, you Africans talk about your ancestors. This is what your ancestors agreed to. It wasn't no doggone all this other stuff you talking about. It wasn't no what the Christians talking about. It was this, keeping of commandments. Slaughtering animals and giving them and then sacrificing them unto the Most High. Ain't no man gonna be sacrificed to no Most High, because God doesn't deal with human sacrifice. Matter of fact, it's against the law to sacrifice human beings unto the Most High. Why should he go against his own word? And you let this New Testament just fool you all through the way. They done just twisted it and messed it all up. And with thy children after thee, that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth. Your children. He's talking about your generations, that you might prolong your generations throughout the earth. And the Lord thy God, even the I am, Tata and Zambi, Heya, giveth thee forever the cities. It says, then Moses severed 3 cities on this side of Jordan toward the sun rising, that the slayer might feed thither, which could kill his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in times past, that fleeing unto one of these cities he might live. Namely, Bezer was one, in the wilderness and in the plain country, in the Reubenites, and Ramoth Gilead of the Gadites, and Golan in the Bashan. They call it Golan Heights. What do you call it? Golan Heights, please. Of the Messanites. Now this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel. These are the testimonies and the statutes and judgments which Moses made unto the children of Israel after they come forth out of Egypt. And on this side of Jordan in the valley over against Beth Peor in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel smote after they were come forth out of Egypt. And they possessed his land and the land of Og, king of Bashan, the 2 kings of the Amorite, which was on this side of Jordan, toward the sun rising, from Aor, which is by the brink of the river of Arnon, even unto Mount Sion, which is in Hermon, and all the plain on this side eastward, even unto the sea of the plain under the springs of Pisgah. In other words, remember, this is what God is telling you, you children of the Bantu, you children, even natives, he's telling you, remember. Although these things are not, that I read here, are not the exact words of the Most High, they're not exactly translated correctly, but they're near on point. Remember, God doesn't bind you up like all these other religions do. He doesn't bind you up at all. He just tells you to remember and go according to your ancestors. And with that, I'm going to say, peace.